Okay, how's everybody doing? Sorry, I'm like a little bit scrambled, kind of all over the place today. Bless you. I think my children are getting sick. I know, hold on, honey. Okay, all right, so I'm gonna go over the questions, and then like I said, if you guys have other questions, then just comment. Hold on one second. Okay, first, you know what? I don't know how many of you guys were on the call tonight, but I just kind of wanted to say something. So, I don't know how many of you guys are new, or even if you guys have new people on your team. First, I just want to tell you guys, I'm so grateful to be a part of a team, to be a part of this particular team with these particular people on it, because I just feel like we bring people into our team and into our world that are just like meant to be there. And you guys have all done something and are all part of some puzzle. I'm not quite sure what the puzzle's, supposed to do just yet, but you're just all part of some, big master plan. And it's just, this team is just amazing. And I just feel like sometimes maybe I personally don't tell you guys enough how absolutely grateful I am to just have this group of people that are just, you guys are just amazing. So I just want to tell you guys, just thank you so much for just being just an awesome group of people, and just for picking us to be your leaders. Just thank you. So not to be like all mushy and weird, but thank you. I appreciate it a lot. I know a lot of you don't know this, but there's a lot of you that I look up to on here. And so I want you guys just to know how much I love you. Okay. First thing, I'd like to go over dream boards. Okay. So just by show of movement, how many of you have a dream board or have ever done a dream board? Okay, awesome. So for those of you who have never done a dream board, these are so important. And I know when I first started the business, I thought they were super cheesy. And my enroller, Stacy, and so Stacy told me you need to do a dream board. And I was like, what in the heck? Why would I put pictures from a magazine on a poster board with glitter? This makes no sense. This is silly. But when I did my first dream board, it gave me a visual representation of what I wanted. And then, of course, because my husband thinks he's funny, he would move that dream board places. So he'd put it in the kitchen, and then he'd put it in my room, and then he'd put it in the closet. And he was doing it to antagonize me. But he was also, what he didn't realize was happening is that he was consistently reminding me of the things that I wanted. I picked those things. And when I started to mark the things off of my dream board that I was accomplishing, it is a different sense of accomplishment. And so if you have not done a dream board, and you have a group of people in your area, so whether you're in Las Vegas or you're in, I know Katie's team, Katie has some people in Colorado, Paris has some people in Utah. So if you guys have just a group of people that are somewhat close to you, get a few of you guys together, get some magazines, get some pen and paper, get a poster board, make a dream board. You need to see something visually in front of you, even if it's on social media. I've made social media dream boards too. But they're important because you need to see you need to visualize and see what it is that you want out of life. They don't have to be material items. I made a dream board at the beginning of this year, and they had stuff on it I wanted to pay for my son's therapy in cash. I wanted to pay for our wedding in cash. I wanted to do things that we were already doing, but I didn't want to be in debt because of them. Maybe you have health goals you're getting through, or maybe you have need to pay your car off, or you need to move, or whatever the case may be. Put that on your dream board. So put those things that you need to do, and then put those things that you want to do. What are those things that you're just dreaming more? Dream bigger. So I have a Dodge Nitro. It fits everyone just fine. I wanted to pay it off. I dreamed bigger, and I was like, I want a bigger car. I want something that's that I never thought I could accomplish. Some people put a house, we put a house, or we put my dream wedding dress. Those are just some things that I picked. Some other things that other people have picked are Stacy, I don't know if you can hop on. But I know Stacy, for instance, has put her dream house. And I want you to put things that are almost scary, because when you accomplish those things, it's oh my gosh, you can't even imagine it. So dream big, number one. So you need to do, you need to make a dream board. So that's something I want to challenge you guys all to do, especially if you're new. I want you guys to post your dream boards, tag us in them, because we want to show the world what our dreams are. And I feel like a lot of people, especially now, people who aren't in this business, they don't dream anymore. You know, we want people to dream again. So dream boards are so, 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 so important. So if Paris or Stacy or anybody want to chime in on that.
You guys hear me okay? See?
No? Yes?
No? Can you hear me? No?
Yeah,
Paris, yes. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, there we go. Sorry, it started playing. Oops, I did it again. Yeah, I'm a big testimony for dream boards because a year ago at Stacy's house, we had a dream board party. I thought it was really stupid. And I put big dreams on there, like almost like I was trying to show off myself to myself. I put like a big lifted truck. I put the house I want to have, the certain amount in my savings account, stuff like that. And then I lost it, and then I moved. And what's crazy is that I found the dream board like 2 months ago, and this is right after I purchased my truck. And I found it, and literally on my dream board is this big F-150 that looks almost identical to the truck I drive now. And then I realized that like everything on that board had came true in a year, and things that I really in my heart like didn't think were possible. And like down to like what my bedding in my bedroom looks like, I put on that board, and I hadn't seen it in a year, and that's really weird. So they are so, so, so powerful. So if you don't have one, definitely make one. And you know, as you cross them off, make sure that they scare you. Don't just put stuff that you know you'll achieve by next Tuesday on there. Like put big dreams.
Okay, cool. I love dream boards. Okay, I'm just going down the line. Some of these questions are kind of out of order. Okay. So it says online party tips and what to do after the online party's over. Okay, so if you want to throw the online party yourself, I would just go to any of the online parties that we do and just literally mimic that. I mean, that's my biggest tip. So like last night, it was the first time I did an online facial party. It was like super successful. I made a total ass of myself. I don't know if you guys saw the picture I posted on Facebook or if you've seen the video. Like I made a total ass of myself, but it was so much fun. I signed 3 customers and my phone's been blowing up all day long. I'm determined to sign like 10 more people tonight. Okay. So don't be afraid to make yourself look like a clown because I do it all the time. And it works great. So there's that. But if you don't want to do that, like let's say you're not ready for a live, we do the post ones, so you can do that. So as far as like tips go, I would just go to the online parties that like the leaders already provide for you and just do those. Me personally, I would just say invite your potentials to our online parties because it's power by numbers. When they see other people interacting and they see other people like asking questions and wanting the product, they're like, oh, other people want this stuff. I want it too. Okay, so there's my first suggestion. But if for some reason you have someone that wants to have their own private party, then I would just do it exactly how we do it. And that's super easy. So, and then I don't know, like Katie, you guys can chime in, but after an online party, this is what I do. I go to all the people that I personally invited that did not check in or did not like anything, and I message them. And I just say, hey, our online party is going to be up for X amount of time. If you want a chance to win something, you need to go interact. One. And then if they still don't respond to me or whatever, most of the time they do. So I message those people first. And then the people who did interact, I just straight follow up with them. Like if they were liking comments or liking certain products, you know, they kind of gave me an invite to follow up with them. So I just go and do that. But yeah, for the people that didn't check in or didn't do anything, I just sometimes, like, it depends on what mood I'm in, but if I'm in like a quirky mood, I'll be like, hey girl, you said you wanted to come to my online party. What happened? Did you get like abducted or something? Like, where'd you go? and they laugh. Like if you can make a person laugh, I feel like you can make them pretty much do anything. I know that sounds kind of like weird, but it's true. Like if you just, they're just a person, you know, like I think sometimes we feel like potentials are like, I don't know, something different than us. You guys, they're just people. So just talk to them like they're your friend, you know, they're not like superhuman or something like that. So if you just talk to them like they're a person, then a lot of these like fears that you have will go away. So that's my 2 cents for that. I don't know if you guys, if anyone else has anything to add.
Okay, so for me, can you hear me okay? I'm driving.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, so for me, no, I do want to just mention something real quick. We've had a few issues about the online parties. We do them, twice a week for you guys because, like she said, power numbers, and the more people that are interacting, the more other people will as well. So, but one thing I just want to just say real quick, and I feel like it's common sense, but it's been happening a lot. If you invite or if you don't invite somebody, you don't want to message them. There's somebody else potential. So just remember to be courteous of others and to just message and interact with the one that you personally invited. And if somebody has questions, we'll make sure to get them to their correct distributor who invited them. I just wanted to mention that. But for me, I messaged my personally enrolled or my personally invited, and I just assumed that they went. I just asked them, hey, how'd you like the party? And then, if they respond, oh, it was great, even though I know they didn't respond or they didn't interact. I mean, people do that. I'll say, great, which product do you want to start with? Something like that. And if they don't respond, I just let them know, I have another one coming up. I'm going to invite you again. So I just keep doing that until they respond, until they finally, see the products and get started. So that's what I do. I basically do the same thing. I always assume that they're on even if they check in or not. And I send them a message and I say, oh my gosh, girl, that party was so amazing, huh? Do you have any questions? And then if they weren't on, they're going to be like, okay, if it really was that amazing or it was really that fun, I need to go check it out. So then they're going to go to it, they're going to scroll through it, and then they might have questions. So just giving them that urgency, saying like, it was so amazing, it was so much fun. Do you have any questions? They're going to just have that urgency to go check it out. And then instead of it taking an hour, they could scroll for 5 seconds and then might have tons of questions, which open up opportunities to offer something completely different as well.
Okay. Yeah, so I can't believe I forgot to say that. My slogan is, we're one team, one mission. We're not one team, one potential. Okay, guys? So if they're not your potential, you don't know this person, you didn't invite them, just, yeah, don't message them. Don't do that. Be a stand-up person. Okay. Next question is, if you do a live and someone likes it, how do you go about reaching out to them? It depends on what my live is about. If my live is about the product, then I approach them the same way I do as if they approached, like if they liked a product post. I mean, yeah, I just approach them the exact same way. So like, let's say I did a live rap demo, which I do frequently. If they liked that, then I'll message them and be like, hey, I saw my live rap demo. Like, have you ever tried a rap? I always end all my I try to end all my stuff in questions, so it forces them to respond back to me. So yeah, it just depends. But I mean, if they like a live that has nothing to do with the product or the business, then I add them to my hundreds list because I know that they're watching me, and then I just go interact on their page until I have some sort of like open door to kind of ask them. But if it's something related to the business, then I just treat it as if it were a normal post. Making it a live doesn't make it any different. At least for me, it doesn't. So, anybody else? Nope. Okay. Okay, so somebody asked for recommendations on books, speakers, movies for self-development that I can use or recommend for my team. So for me, I just ordered it again because I lost it, but my favorite book is You Are a Badass. I'm obsessed with it. Just the title in and of itself I love because yeah, you're a badass. So I think that we need to tell ourselves that more often. So that's my favorite book. But I know the girls have, yeah, the girls have some other stuff that they listen to. I think Cami Dempsey's doing like a book club, and I think she did, what's it called? Chase the Lion. I think her book club did Chase the Lion. And so I know a lot of people really like that one. So I might have to add that to my list. We obviously talk about The Secret a lot. So you can, so those, I know like people have like The Secret. I know Katie has like The Secret on repeat. So I don't know if there's any other ones. Okay. Chelsea says Magic of Thinking Big. She likes that one. So yeah, if you guys have like books and recommendations and like self-development things that you guys like, drop them in the chat. And then if you guys are interested in any of those, just go ahead and take some of them. But yeah, so for me personally, I like You Are a Badass, and I will probably go through and read some of these ones. For me, self-development, I write to myself, or I write to my husband. I journal. So my self-development might look a little bit different than maybe some of other people's, but it looks like everyone's kind of dropping some suggestions in the chat. So that's probably going to be a really, really good place to look. So for some of the, because this is recorded. Okay. TED Talks, Think and Grow Rich, the 5-second rule. Katie says just go to Amazon and type in self-development. I think everybody is attracted to something different. Like I'm attracted to any sort of self-development that's really straightforward. Like I'm really straightforward personality. So I like that, like cut to the chase kind of stuff, but some people don't like that. Some people like fluff, and I don't like fluff. So it just sort of depends. Rich Dad, Poor Dad, which I know is super popular. Let's see. Paris. Oh yeah, I know Paris listens to Les Brown a lot. But if you like videos, just go to YouTube and type in self-development. For me on YouTube, I listen to some of the top earners YouTube videos because they just pump me up. So there's a lot of different places that you guys can go, but I think you need to find something that's similar to your personality.
I want to add something to that. So, I always love to find out who's a great inspiration or whatever. I mean, I love watching videos and stuff. But something that I learned was record yourself or video yourself of you like speaking out loud of what you really want. And if you do that and you listen to it when you're down in your little funk or whatever, that is so powerful. I did it just like a voice thing. Sorry, my kid's crying, but just like a voice thing of me saying, I am ambassador, I make this much a month, like just things that I want. And there's just something so powerful about it, especially when you're in your own head and you're the only person stopping you from, moving forward or having that motivation that you had yesterday or, something like that. So I would definitely recommend trying that and seeing if that would be something that would work for you.
Okay. Oops. Okay. So someone else asked, how do you keep track of people you talk to on Instagram? They change their name sometimes or don't even have their actual name on their pages. Just trying to find a way to keep organized with Instagram. So for me on Instagram, I just try to make the best like organization I can possible. So I don't really have people changing their names on me a lot, or maybe they do and I just don't notice. I don't know. But I try to keep track of them the same way I keep track of them on Facebook. I put everybody in Excel and I try to get like, I guess their first name if I can. But if I go to their page, sometimes it has their first name on it. I think that I believe Instagram has a setting where you can like on Facebook, you can like set people to see first. And I think you can do the same thing on Instagram. So I just can't, Casey, somebody.
Turn on the notifications.
Okay, yeah, there. See, I knew it was called something. Yeah, so if you go to a person, hold on. Okay, So like, okay, I'm going to go to this person, right? If you go to the three dots, there are like three dots up there. It says, oh my God, my phone. Damn it. Well, at the very bottom, it says turn on post notifications. So if you're having trouble like keeping track of somebody, then just turn on their post notifications. It's the same thing as going on Facebook and putting somebody as see first. So if you're having trouble keeping track, you can keep track of them that way.
For me, if I'm interacting with somebody on Instagram, or like actual like messaging, like actually communicating, I get their number or I get them on Facebook because it is so much easier for me personally to organize that way. For me, Instagram is like a jumbled mess with organization for different reasons. And so if I'm actually messaging them, like the first couple texts in, unless, you know, they come to me and say, let's join or whatever. But even then, I try to get their number to text them. It's more personal. So I always try to do that. At least Facebook, just so I have a name, you know, to a face and all of that. So that's every single time. And even if they become a customer of mine, I ask them right after if they have a Facebook so I can add them to my Facebook just to even have better organization and be able to know exactly who it is I'm talking
to. Okay, cool. So hopefully that answered your question. I'm going to go back to, okay. Okay, how to talk to friends and family without sounding salesy. So I say this all the time, like, I think you just need to talk to people like they're people. And I feel like sometimes we make potentials, like we think potentials are something else, like more than what they are. They're just people. And I feel like if you talk to them like they're your friend, like you wouldn't, like I wouldn't talk to Katie. Like when I talk to Katie, I just talk to Katie like she's a person. So I'm going to talk to Katie the same way that I talk to my potential. I mean, I might drop a few F-bombs with Katie that I might not say with my potential, but that's the only difference. I'm not going to I'm not trying to pitch something to somebody. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, talk to them like they're your friend and like you know them, and it makes them feel comfortable. And when they feel comfortable, it's less like you're selling something to them, especially if they're family. If they're family, Katie, tell Audie I see him in the corner making faces at me. Hi, Kingston. Kingston wants to say hi to everybody. Okay. So if you talk to people, especially your family, I mean, like these are people that you know and that they're your family, so you can just talk to them. I mean, I don't just talk to them like they're family. You know, they're just people. So I feel like, yeah, that's my advice. I mean, I don't know that. I hope that answers your question, but that's what I do. I just talk to everyone just like they're people, and I cut that salesy thing out of it. So I don't know if anyone else has any other tips. But.
I think it's more scary to talk to our friends and family than it might be to random people because, you know, they're afraid of, you know, us being salesy. You know, I think it's just all in your head. But you don't have to be successful to really feel this way. But I think that if you just tell them what it's done for you, and like if they're struggling or maybe they lose some weight or something like that, I would just say, you know what, this is what this has done for me. You know, maybe you can try it. I love it, and you know, I wouldn't be doing this. You know me. You know, you can trust me. I wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't real, if it wasn't working. And I think just sharing, like what it's done for you already, and where you're going with it, whether that's business or the us. I think it's just we're in our own head a lot of the times, and if they're your friends and your family, most likely they're going to support you or, you know, trust you in what you're doing. And so I think just planting that seed, and even if they don't, you know, hey, like most don't, you still planted that seed, and so they're going to be watching you a little bit more, and it's going to be in the back of their head. So, you know, don't push it like always, you know, but just be you and just share your true testimony and, you know, what it's done for you.
Yeah. So, I mean, Okay, so for me, like my mom, actually nobody in my family bought anything for me for like at least the first year. And so I think, yeah, maybe friends and family are a little bit tougher, but I don't think that there's anything that you need to say differently, maybe to them, that you wouldn't say to a stranger. They're, I think when we just kind of get that idea of being salesy out of our heads and just be human, I think that, like Stacey said, it really is. Oh, my child took my phone. Sorry. When we get that idea kind of out of our head, I feel like that's like half the battle, you know? And like we talk a lot about mindset, and we talk a lot about like what we think is what we, you know, what we project out. And so I think if you think you're being salesy, then you're probably being salesy. So just try to take that out of your mind and not even like consider it as a possibility, and just be human. So that's my advice. So hopefully that helped. Okay. There were a few charting questions, so I'll go back to those at the end. So I'm going to skip those right now. Okay, our team wants advice on how to stay motivated and time management. Okay, so I'll go over the time management first. So I think most of you guys know I'm presidential, but I still work a full-time job. Between Justin and I, we have 4 kids. Braden's in like a lot of therapies, so our schedule's all over the place. So this is what my time management looks like, and then I'll let Katie and Stacy and Paris kind of give you their own different time management, because we're all doing different stuff. So for me, 45 minutes in the morning when my kids get ready, that 45 minutes is checking in with the team, going on the team page. It's checking in with the other leaders. It's like that, like pre-setup stuff. Okay. That's, you know, coming up with like my first morning post, checking in with my husband, that kind of stuff. So that's my first 45 minutes while my kids are getting ready and I'm like struggling to get them to eat breakfast. Okay. Like getting dressed, you know, whatever. And then on my drive to work, I am voice messaging people. And that's like usually the people that messaged me in the middle of the night. So I'm voice messaging them, just responding. And then the position that I have, I'm a financial controller, so I can't sort of be on Facebook. So like if you guys start messaging me, like kind of like from like 8 in the morning to like 2, that's why I don't respond, because I can't. So at that point I go to work, and then I take at least 2 to 3 bathroom breaks between like 8 in the morning to 12. And those are when I post. So like I post about a product, a lifestyle. I'll try to get a quick few messages in. So I do those on bathroom breaks because, you know, like I said, I work a full-time job. And then my lunch hour, I do a power hour. And I do 1 full hour of interacting. And so that's when I do my letter of the day. That's when I don't really, if I get through my letter of the day and I have time to message, I'll message people. But usually I just do 1 full hour of interacting. And that is just change my entire business. You have no idea how many people you can interact with and like change your timeline with, both Instagram and Facebook, with just 1 solid hour. So I do a power hour every day. That's my 12 to 1 while I'm like shoveling food in my mouth. And then I'll take like another, like maybe 1 to 2 bathroom breaks, post again. And then I leave. I get my son. We usually have some sort of therapy to go to. I usually message people for like the hour that he's in therapy. I come home, I do my family stuff, I cook my dinner, I do all that stuff. And then I try to message people as I can. And then usually like about 7 o'clock-ish, I'm either doing a team call with you guys or a power hour or something like that. And then I do all of my enrollments, all of my final, like wrapping up and talking to people from 8 o'clock on until I finally go to sleep. So that's what my time management looks like. And I have a full-time job and kids and like life happening. So I feel like I found a way to just work in small spurts of focused time. And that's been really beneficial for my business. And that's just worked for me. So that's my time management. Would anybody else like to add to that?
Okay. I don't have anything to add for time management, but I'll start with the motivating thing. Was the question, how do you motivate?
Oh yeah, I just didn't even get to that. But yes, how do you stay motivated?
Oh, how do I stay motivated? not asking how the team does. Because I was going to say, if you're asking how to keep your team motivated, you can't motivate someone else. You can be there for someone else, but you have to just lead from the front and be the example, be the person that you want on your team. Do what you want your other people to do, and that's how they'll start doing it. If somebody joins your team and they don't do anything, they don't owe you anything. They don't have to do anything. It's their business. They'll come around when it's their time. As long as you just focus on your business and you completing the steps to success and being there to help your people, but it's not your job to push them. So you just lead from the front, be active in your chats, and be on the trainings, and they'll see that, and they will too. I'm done.
Okay. Katie or Stacy?
Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Time
The
management?
question was, how do I stay motivated? I thought it was something about time management.
No, it was a two-part question. Paris decided to just hijack the question and answer the second part. How do you?
Okay, so what do you want me to answer?
Time management?
Time management?
Yeah, how do you time manage?
Okay. Well, I'm going to be honest and tell you that it's still one of my weaknesses. I work from home. I have 2 kids, and those are my only serious obligations. So I don't have a full-time job. I'm no longer a student. So my days, Mason, no, I'm working. Say hi.
Where's Paris?
She's on here somewhere. So my days, I don't have a lot to do, and so time management for me is not as important because I have a lot of time. However, if you're a mom, you know that it's pretty crazy to try to handle the kids while trying to work and all of that. And so what I have found that's worked for me, and again, I'm still working on all of this, is just setting time aside for my kids. I think that's my kids, they love to play and, all of that. And if I'm not giving them attention, they're, in lack of better words, they're bugging me and they're, constantly nagging me. And so I just make sure to set time aside with my kids. And then during nap time, they go to bed between 8 and 8:30. After that is when I go on work, my business. No distractions, nothing like that. As you can tell, my kids are screaming right now while I'm doing this training, and it's not really fun. I just have to make sure that I give them time. And so if I give them time, set time with my phone not even near, and we play or we go to the park and all this stuff, then they're happy and they're gonna let me work when I finally want to work. You know what I mean? So that's what's worked for me. And everyone is different. You can get all these tips, but you just gotta kind of work different ways and try to see what works for you. If you need to set a timer on your phone, and put it on do not disturb, sit on your computer or even just your phone, and just an hour of solid work, like Nicole said, it can so change the interactions and everything on your social media. Just set time aside here and there, and then when you're working out, that's when you can work, or things like that. So just figure out what works for you. But for me, I just know that I have to give my kids the attention, and that's my main thing. And so if I give them the attention, then I can work. And most of the time I'm working first thing in the morning when we wake up, I post or whatever, and then during nap time, and then a little bit here and there, but I sit down and really, really work after bedtime. That's when I really sit down and work. So that's what's worked for me. And when I don't have them on the weekends, then I'm always working. But that's what's worked for me. I hope that helps.
So I have a yelling husband and a baby howling in the background, but so I have noticed with not only myself but other people that the busiest people are the most successful. And it's honestly, if you guys have time to just sit around and do nothing, you're going to be scrolling through Facebook and you're basically just going to be so bored that you go to La La Land and your business gets put on the back burner. So if you just keep yourself busy with, like, you know, like Stacy said, staying busy with your kids or staying busy with just things around the house or running errands or things like that. Like, I also am basically a stay-at-home mom thanks to the business. I work 1 day a week bartending, and I feel like when I sit at home, I just spin my wheels and I'm like, oh, I can do that later. You know, I'm going to scroll through Facebook for just a second. But when I'm running around town, I always find myself more in a happy, positive mood. And I know that that affects my business a lot more with just mindset. And so I guess with time management is just staying active. And if you find yourself spinning your wheels, set yourself a timer and just get to work for, it doesn't even have to be an hour. It could just be seriously 10 minutes, 10, 15, 30, an hour. It doesn't matter. Just set a timer and just get to work. At night is my favorite. When I was still working like crazy, I would set up my Buffer. If you guys don't know what that is, Buffer is an app that will automatically post for you. Also, Facebook now from a desktop will allow you to set a timer to post. So setting up your posts for that next day is super, super, super helpful, because if you don't post, you're not in business. It shows basically that you've closed shop for the day. So making your post for the next day and then just getting back to all of your potentials, just getting into your messenger. If you guys are spinning your wheels, get into your messenger and just scroll through it and pick out the people that you have. You can see who you sent a message to last, and you can see who sent a message to you and what it said. So just going through those and connecting with them again, and then going through your own Facebook page and looking at people who have liked or commented on your stuff and just connecting with them again. Even if it's been a week, a day, whatever, just connect with them again, because it's gonna give you that motivation just to keep going. So I know I kind of got off track, but staying busy just really is huge, because when you're sitting around twiddling your thumbs, you're more than likely not going to work your business.
Okay, awesome. So I guess the general consensus is obviously like finding some sort of time management method that works within you. You guys have kind of heard how we manage our time, but everybody's life is different, you know, so everyone's life is different. Everyone's journey is different. And I think we say it repeatedly, like you know, like my page 600 might not be your page, 1. And so Stacy's full-time stay-at-home mom, Katie's virtually a full-time stay-at-home mom, Paris is stay-at-home mom, I work full-time, so you just got to kind of find, something that works within your schedule. But I think that we all can agree that if the biggest and most important thing is that working like solid focus time, whether that's like a full hour or a full or a half hour, like whatever that time is, just as long as it's focused, because you don't want to waste your time, because you're never going to get that back. Okay. So you're never going to get your time back. So the other thing was just staying motivated. So it was, the specific question was advice on staying motivated. So, I think I struggle with this from time to time. And so for me, if you mean staying motivated personally, because most of you guys kind of know my story, I've been struggling with, PTSD and depression kind of in and out for a while. And so it's hard to stay motivated. And so from that perspective, some days it's just not going to happen. I think that you just need to know realistically that like you cannot, some days you're just not going to be 100% motivated all the time. It's unrealistic expectation. So I just want to say that first and foremost. But I think staying motivated in general is just continually reminding yourself why you're doing this. And that's where a dream board comes into play. And that's where like, what do you want out of this? Like, why are you doing this? Like, are you doing this to be financially free? Do you want to quit your job? Do you want to stay home? Do you need to pay debt off? Like, maybe you're sick. Maybe you're drowning in medical debt. Like, you're the only person that knows, like, where you want your family and where you want your life to be. And so I think just for me, it's like I have to have conversations with myself every single morning. And I have to tell myself, like, because there are plenty of times I don't want to get out of bed. And I'm like, I have to do this. I have to do this, because if I don't do this, nobody else is going to do this but me, you know? So it's just like, for me, and this is just me, I have to take responsibility, and I like have to tell myself that. So I have to have conversations with myself, and that's like how I stay motivated. It's also kind of hard for me not to be motivated when my son's medical bills are in the thousands, you know? So it's kind of, for me personally, staying motivated, you know? So that's kind of hard too. Yeah, sometimes it's just a struggle. So it's just, sometimes you do need to just like lean on people. Sometimes you need to take a time out. And I think that's what staying motivated also means, connecting with silent. Oh yes. So Katie, staying motivated can also mean staying connected with Sideline Sister and having friendships with ladies who have the same goals and also accountability partners. So that's an amazing point, Katie, because like I lean on Stacy, Katie, and Paris all the time because, like I said, some days you're just not going to be 100%. So you need to find people, whether it's in your downline, upline, sideline, wherever the case may be, that you can lean on those days that you don't want to get out of bed, that you don't want to post, and you don't want to do something. So we stress it all the time to get an accountability partner because you need somebody who's going at the same speed or faster than you are because they're going to push you, and you guys can push each other. And so you need that. Positive affirmations. Like I said, I talk to myself in the morning, every morning, to tell myself whatever it is I need to tell myself to set myself up for that day. But, you know, internal motivation can only come from you, you know, so it has to be a decision that you make. So those are just the ways that I motivate myself. So I don't know if like Stacy or Paris have something to add to that.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, there's so much to say about this. It was on my mind today, actually. So I was hoping this would come up, but, you know, recently with a divorce and everything, it's been pretty crazy emotionally and, you know, trying to get in the ring of things, you know, by myself, being a single mom and all of that, and co-parenting, and it's all pretty much an emotional mess still. And so, you know, there's days it's really hard. You know, I have depression, anxiety, all of that nonsense, and a lot of people struggle from it. And that's just a part of my life right now, and I just have to come to terms with it, which I have. But there were times when I didn't want to get out of bed. I didn't want to post. I didn't even want to turn my phone on to deal with questions or family or just anybody. And so, you know, I've been on that side where you don't feel like doing anything. You feel like you're in this funk and you don't want to do anything. You don't want to help anybody. You don't even want to help yourself. And so I realized that you have to, in order to stay motivated, in order to get up out of that bed, in order to move on day to day towards your goals, you have to, your why, your reason to live, your reason to do this business, to wake up and take care of your kids, it all has to be big enough. And if it's not big enough, then it's going to be like a chore. It's going to be like you have to do it. It's going to be something that you don't want to do, and you're eventually going to envy, or you're going to be mad about it, and, you know, all of that stuff. And so you don't want it to be like that. And so if you're feeling unmotivated, like everyone said, it comes from within, and your why, your reason of doing this, of doing anything in life, isn't big enough. And so you have to really sit down and think, and it might take a while to really understand what your why is, but you have to come up with a reason why you are doing this. You know, maybe it's not all this money, you know, maybe you're thinking it's all this money, but I mean, maybe in the end, that's really not you. Maybe you just want the freedom. Maybe you want to be a stay-at-home mom. Maybe you don't want to be a stay-at-home mom, but you're telling yourself that you want to because you feel like that's why people get into this business. But maybe it's not. Maybe you want to just have part-time work, you know, something that you actually enjoy doing instead of clocking in and clocking out at a job that you hate. You know, maybe you want to do volunteer, or maybe you just want to pay off your car, or, you know, something so small, but find a reason why you joined. Find that why that you're so passionate about that you would cry over. And maybe you don't have to cry over it, but maybe you just get so fired up every time you think about it. For me, my first why was to be a stay-at-home mom. I truly wanted that because I hated my job. I hated going into work because You know, it wasn't something that I loved to do. It was just to pay the bills, but it hardly was paying the bills. And so I hated it. And so my goal was to finish school while being a stay-at-home mom, so I didn't have to spend all that time away from my children. And that came true. That happened for me because of this business. And so then I really had to find the next why. You know, why am I going to still keep doing this? I'm already a stay-at-home mom. You know, this is what I do, you know, and then it came, you know, it was like the freedom, okay, then paying off all the debt. And now it's helping other people. Hold on, baby. It's helping other people do the same thing. You know, money can't buy happiness. You can buy all these things and possessions, but a lot of people don't need it. I think it's the freedom that people want, you know, whether that's financial freedom or, you know, freedom to go from full-time to part-time, or, you know, be able to take that vacation that you've been wanting to take forever. And so my goal is to help other people feel the way that I have been able to feel because of the hard work I've put into this business, because of this business giving me that opportunity to do this. And so you really just have to figure out what your why is, and that will motivate you. And if it doesn't motivate you, then your why isn't big enough, and you've got to figure out what really is your why. Because if you find that why that you are so passionate about, that you could cry over, you know, that you just know that this is what you're supposed to do in life, is to do this, or to help other people do this, or maybe it's to help your husband come home from 60 hours down to 40 hours, you know, something small like that. But figure it out, write it down, and really think about it and meditate or whatever you need to do, and just make it happen, because you're the only person standing in your way of being motivated, of, you know, figuring out what you want and actually making it happen. And so that's what I've got to say. You know, stop it, baby. Quiet for 1 second. You know, screw all the excuses. Put them away. Throw them away for 60 days straight and see what could truly happen in your life, because your life could change if you just have that why, that passion, and the drive to just work for it. So that's what I got to say about motivation.
Stacy just spoke life into you guys, okay? Screaming kids in the background, all right? Okay. Does anyone else have anything to add to motivation? No? Okay. Okay, I'm going to attempt to go back to try to find our questions. I lost track of what I was doing. Okay. Okay, any organization tips or keeping track of people? So I've said this a lot. I use Excel for everything because I run around a lot, and I'm constantly at a computer. So for me, Excel works really well. For some people, that doesn't work. I like Excel because I can take it anywhere. It can go on my iPhone. It can go on my computer. I can send it to anybody, whatever. I can view it from anywhere. But I know that on the team pages, there's like files list, and there are examples of what hundreds list looks like. And I think that the biggest thing in staying organized is, first of all, finding an organizational tool that works for you. Maybe it's Excel, maybe it's paper, but you just need to be organized. Like, you need to actually just do it. You need to write people's names down. Some people use a notebook. But you need to write people's information down, like, somehow, or maybe you use Facebook lists. Like, some people will do that. I mean, I use Facebook lists. That's not really my hundreds list, but you could do that. You could do, you could create a Facebook friends list. That's all your potentials if you only use Facebook, but that's a way to do it. So those are some organizational tools. Excel, pen and paper, Facebook lists. So those are some ways. Crap, where's my thing at? Dude, I'm a space cadet. I lost what the freak I was doing. Okay. So those are my organizational tools. Okay. So the last thing was going over charting. Oops. Okay. Okay, perfect. I'm going to try to get into, okay, hold on. Let me see if I can do this. I've only had to do this once. Stacy, how do I split screen? I want to show them my screen on my computer.
It's called the share screen.
Oh, does it say start share?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't see your person right now.
Okay, so we're gonna go to reports. Actually, I'm trying to remember where, oh, rank. Charting beta. Okay, this is just to show you guys like I'm just gonna do a Ruby chart real quick. What the heck? Okay, I have no idea what that is. Okie dokie. Okay, so this is a Ruby chart. Okay. All right, so this is a Ruby chart. What the heck? Okay, so for Ruby, you need one executive. So this is the person right here, okay? This person needs to be commission qualified. So that's either an 80 BV auto ship or they need to have 150 in group or in personal volume. So that's the loyal customers that are directly under them. They need to add up to 150, okay? Then they need these two people here need to have 400 in group volume, okay, 400. Now, that means that it's anybody under them, any of their loyal customers, any of their teammates, they all need to add up to 400. That's a Ruby. That's an executive. Then on this side, it's the same thing. They just need 400 in group volume, 400 in group volume. Okay, so this is what a Ruby chart looks like. And once you kind of understand how to build a Ruby, you can pretty much build any rank in this entire company. Okay, everything is built from Rubies. Okay, so when we're talking about, when we're talking about top lines, that's the people that are directly under you. So if this is me, these people right here would be my top line. This would be my second level. Okay, so those are some of the terms that we use. Now, if you have specific charting questions like who do I place where, like those kinds of questions, that really depends on your chart, you know, that just depends. And so I don't want to give you like specific charting, like, I guess, I don't know, rules, because everybody charts differently, but this is the basics. Like you need to focus and learn how to chart a Ruby, because if you can chart a Ruby and you understand how to chart a Ruby and you understand what these mean, then you can chart any other rank. Okay, the biggest thing is promotion boxes. That means the Ruby, the executive, they have to be commission qualified. Okay, these people here, they don't have to be commission qualified. So let's just say this person is Stacy. Stacy has 30, you know, she has only one loyal customer and that person only ordered 30. But then Stacy has Katie under her and Katie has like 370 volume all on her own. Well, Katie plus Stacy's 30 equal 400. So there's that 400 box. It's the combination of Stacy and anybody under her. Okay? Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. I want to give you like a very generic, basic way of charting, because I think that anything more like intense in that is like getting too specific, and it depends on a person's chart. So this is, you know, yeah, charting a Ruby. And then, so that's those basics. Okay, so then next week, the leaders are doing basically charting Zooms from executive all the way up. So how to get on a charting Zoom is very easy. Get yourself charted for that rank, okay? So if you're charted for executive, you'll be, which is 2 people, a minimum of 2 people under you, you will be on that charting Zoom. We are going to help you specifically, you know, do tasks, give you exactly how to reach that rank this month. If you are a Ruby, you have to be charted for Ruby to be on that Ruby Zoom. You are going for Emerald, you have to be charted to Emerald to get to that Emerald rank, or to get to that Emerald Zoom. Same thing for Diamond, for Double, for Triple. Paris is working towards presidential, so if she wants to get on that that presidential chart, she better get them boxes filled. But yeah, so for every rank, I believe, Katie, interrupt me if I'm wrong, but they have till Saturday night to be charted for those ranks in order to get onto those Zooms. Is it Saturday? Yes. Okay, so you guys have till Saturday to be charted for those ranks. Your leader will, we will check, and basically we're gonna bring your guys' chart. Charted means that all of the boxes filled, you guys have names in all the boxes. And we're gonna tell you what to do and give you guys specific tasks. So if you're pushing for Emerald and you only need like 2 or 3 more people, then you need to push. And if you wanna get on that Emerald Zoom, then you need to push for those 2 to 3 more people, okay? If you're working towards Diamond and you just need 1 more person, then you need to push towards that Diamond. If you're at double, you get the point, okay? So we're gonna go over specifically what you guys need to do. We wanna help you guys reach these ranks. August is going to be an insane month. We wanna help you guys just do the unbelievable, okay? But we can't do that unless you guys get yourselves where you need to be, okay? So if you're unsure about charting, you have no idea what I'm talking about, you have no clue like where you are or how to chart, or just find your Diamond upline or your enroller, and that person will help you, okay? Unless Stacy, Katie, or Paris have anything to add, I think that we are done, and I will let you guys all go in peace, and you guys finish your BOGO. My phone is blowing up, and my son is so ready for bed. So, do you guys have anything else to add? No?
I was going to say the same. My kids are ready for bed. But I'm excited for these Zooms. I'm excited. So thank you for doing this, though. I thought it was awesome.
No. Oh, cute. Okay, cool. I do have actually one last thing. You guys, Stacy and I have some seriously amazing people who are going to be hosts, who are going to be like special guests this month. So you guys need to keep a lookout because we have some really awesome, amazing hosts for the rest of this month. So just saying.
Like top ambassadors. Awesome.
Like I'm surprised we pulled these off. I'm just saying. I can't believe it.
Can't wait.
Yeah. So you guys are going to want to stick around for those. So, all right, cool. If you guys have any other questions, just let us know. Otherwise, we have 2 more hours for BOGO. Okay? Awesome. Thank you guys so much.